and I think people are busy and hurry in the end of week, right? Going to end. So, what about IoT? And I hope past 3+ days speakers have inputs regarding the Internet of Things in connection with machine learning, in connection with blockchain, in connection with network security. Of course, I did a little part with the healthcare industry. Of course, Industry 4.0 by the speaker in today's morning session. So when everything becomes linked with everything else, matter becomes smiled and the possibilities become endless. Imagine now 50 billion IoT connected devices are there. Now imagine the economic impact of these connected machines for $11 trillion per year by the next 5+ years. These wearable devices, environmental sensors, agricultural machineries, components in the vehicles, or we can say devices in homes can all be connected to deliver insights and drive transformation. So, if you have small devices in our home, our car, our workplace, or even ourselves, the world becomes alive, that Internet of Things, right? The Internet is taking everyday objects into data factories, I can say so. When the Internet of Things, along with big data, meets artificial intelligence, this interface, right? The big data, the IoT, it will become enlightened with intelligence, and a new world will take birth, which will increasingly talk back to us. Imagine the kind of world that it would be. I requested the participants to think about that insurance in the morning session. Imagine the revolution that will make us the way we see the world. The external world will become the extension of our mind, like an extension of our thoughts. Imagine a world that is responsive, a world that is optimized for human creativity, a world that is intentional, right? The IoT is a breeding ground for new artificial intelligence driven solutions and the experience, from self-driving cars to intelligent homes to help, right? So let us welcome the world of endless possibilities. The world is not going to end. The people's interest is not going to end. You people might discuss a lot technically regarding Internet of Things for the past 3+ days. Of course, morning 2 sessions too. Let us discuss, debate something which is not countable by us directly, but most of the occasions we felt mentally, thought by ourselves, but afraid to speak publicly. The ethical, the human values, and the environmental challenges when we go for implementing such kind of technology. Relating the FDP topic, applications and challenges of IoT, and I thought of taking only the challenges that we are having several such kind of challenges when we go for full-fledged of Internet of Things into our day-to-day activity. Since most of the participants belongs to computer science and circuit branches, the human values mentioned or defined by IEEE is saying so to treat fairly all of such factors as race, religion, gender, disability, age, or national origin. This is applicable in our day-to-day activity. Let us see how it is. We deliberate several occasions related with this Internet of Things definition, Internet of Things explanation, course morning also. But we never thought of this environmental ethics. Environmental ethics is the philosophical discipline that considers the moral and ethical relations human environment. In other words, what if any moral obligation does man have to the preservation and care of the non-human world? While ethical issues concerning the environment have been debated for past several centuries, and environmental ethics didn't emerge as a philosophical discipline for the past 5+ decades, till 1970s. It is the emergence was the result of increased awareness of how the rapidly growing world population impacting as well as the environmental consequences that came with the growing use of pesticides industry. Helps define man's moral and ethical obligations towards the environment. But human values become a factor when looking at environmental ethics. Human values are the things that are important to individuals that they then use to evaluate actions or events. Human assigns things and then this assigned value to make a decision about whether something is right or wrong. Human values are unique to each individual because not everyone places the same importance on each element of life. For example, cut down the forest to make room for farmland in an undeveloped country like South Africa is not an ethical. But in a grown country, for an example, people came out from the home in Mumbai few months back for the reason of order by government to cut trees in the street. We often hear the term ethical. By knowing that the fossil fuels are making pollution to the environment, we are continuously using. Of course, countries like India are using fossil fuels in a huge. The rare fish species are going to eradicate or eliminate or destroy. Of course, mining also. In our day-to-day activity, we are damaging the environment in terms of climate change, pollution, conservation, energy, resource depletion, toxins and waste, genetic engineering, intensive farming, and many more. When I say many more, when we say pollution itself, right? We are having this air pollution, of course, in our media is publishing in almost every day. We are not aware about this light pollution, noise pollution. Of course, we know a little bit about water pollution. Unknowingly, we are encouraging or acting for the improvement of light and noise pollution. Of course, these technologies are also making something. When we talk about the climate change, the global warming, fossil fuels, sea level rise, or greenhouse gas, we can list. In case of energy, energy conservation, renewable energy, efficiency energy usage, like that we can list. So everything listed here are directly or indirectly connected with our technology, our industry. Of course, it is not directly connected much with the pesticides, but it is, right? How we are going to over majorly this climate change, energy, pollution, toxins, waste, intensive farming, which I would like to mention. Again, we will tell, sir, I am computer technologist, I am an engineer, and how come it will connect with me? The security and privacy are the root of serious fears about personal information, especially in the Internet of Things space, where remote system hacks become cyber invasions that impact the physical world. Just look at what happened with the Jeep. You might have heard about the security block. So these kind of issues, as IoT related technology is integrated deeper into daily life in the form of fitness wearables, smart home devices, autonomous vehicles, and even the tracking chips for household pets. Everywhere the question is rising like this: privacy, security, and consumer welfare. So what we are doing to solve all these things in the case of IoT ethics, I am asking, I am raising, right? In this section of we discussed this for life. Of course, this particular small equipment, but it is teaching us, it is demonstrating us a lot of ethical activity. We are helping the people, we are supporting the people. That is hidden in this particular action. Of course, we did discuss about the challenges. We will continue in the same way. Give me a moment. Okay. And applications, no need. Already we discussed in the morning session, so that I am omitting. I started the session with a topic: environmental issues, environmental ethics. Then I mentioned about IoT ethics, right? Many of the participants may raise questions. So, how come my activity with computer, laptop, or device with internet will make problem to the environmental? This is a generic question, comes in all mindset. It is the usual question, right? When I say usual question, you have to think of it. That's what I told, directly or indirectly we are connected. We are supposed to use computers. When we say IoT, we need some electronic device. When we use such kind of device, irrespective of the capacity, irrespective of the quality, irrespective of the brand, irrespective of the time. Of course, time is not excluding that. Everything. When we allow the electronic gadgets to interact with energy, it will emit certain amount of carbon dioxide to the environment. of things like the power. In addition to that, all the Internet of Things, basically, we used to say that mail. Assuming that 1 megabyte of mail in our lifetime, right, is emitting 20 gram of CO2. It is to a Thomas Alva Edison 60-watt bulb lighting for. If you are having 20 emails per day per user for 1 year, is equivalent to the CO2 by traveling a car for 1000 plus kilometers. Morning I mentioned about the router is having the future prediction of 2025, which is also consuming higher or huge amount of energy, which is also emitting certain amount of CO2 into the environment. Why we realized only way of this. When we talk about IoT, we are supposed to have data center, server, or I think the cloud too. If you are saying data center, it is equivalent to a thermal power station, one thermal power station, right? Analyze, think how much it is going to emit. We are having a habit, whenever we had a doubt, immediately we will Google it by using a search engine, right? The search engine will come with some certain number of results. Usually it will be, if it is a 5 results, it is equivalent to certain 0.8 gram of CO2. Just imagine if you are connecting through blockchain, which is connected millions of computers. If it is connected with the cloud, it is connected with the data center. You just imagine going to emit carbon dioxide to the environment. Not only that, when we go for browsing the web, and an average internet user required amount of equivalent of water as well as electricity. Assume that these kind of activities may make lot of noise pollution, air pollution, right? Because these equipments are energy hungry equipments. You may ask question, sir, is it true? On what you are describing these all things? I am describing this based on the research in the year of 2019. The world energy production in the year of 2020, the global energy production in the year of 2020 was not 2020, 2019 was 1,52,000 terawatt hour. On the other hand, the energy production in our country, India, 1350 plus terawatt hour. If you are looking the terms, 1,50,000 terawatt hour in the global, 1,300 plus terawatt hour in India, which is less than 1% of global energy production. And the research is saying like 2018, 6 to 10% of global electricity consumption, right, done by ICT, information communication technologies, which is greater than the country India's energy production. Other hand, if you are looking the population, we Indians are having 1/5, more than 1/5 of the plus. And the world is having 738 something. And we Indians wanted to live the life with a lot of luxurious gadgets, facilities, transportation, right? Whichever I listed in the IoT applications in the morning session. Then think of how much energy is required in our country alone and how much CO2 is going to emit when we go for making such kind of automation. Just imagine. When we imagine such kind of way, whether it is equivalent to the CO2 emission on this date or greater or less, I am leaving that guessing participants itself. This is what I told the world energy production in the last several years shown on the screen, and it is not updated for the past 2 years. If you are looking that the energy production made generally from the area where we are getting more pollution, the coal, biofuel, crude oil, natural gas, etc. The renewable energy sources production is comparatively again less than 10%, right? If you are looking the Indian energy, I told certain amount, 1,300 in the last but year. 1% of the global energy production. When I say this much things, the participants 100 plus are not in the same mindset. You might be definitely any one or more number of the specified shown situations. The news may be a new one to you, or you know these all things, but you don't know how to resolve, or you know all these matters earlier itself and you have some idea so that you can go for experiment, or you know all the things and you did experiment and you took already decision and you started integration. This is what the Kubler-Ross made a principle few decades back. It is not a single person. It is all. Give me a moment. I think. It is the principle of Kubler-Ross, and it is applicable to all the humans in the world, either one or other way. I can say one more example of this. Maybe the participants are in the cadre of professor or associate professor or assistant professor, or some cases industry too. Depend upon the cadre, their graduation may happen in different decades. The professors, those who are here, are all learned, demonstrated, studied, practiced Fortran, Pascal, Copal, right? After that, C programming, then came up with C++. But the new generation came up with Python, Ciash. Few things are not changed like Oracle, C programming. But many things, many technologies came and gone. Which means we are supposed to update continuously. Whenever a new technology comes, specifically the computer background people, specifically in academic computer background people, will get shocked. My God, I started practicing very recently. Now the technology outdated and the new technology is coming, so I have to update again. Somebody will say it will be there for another couple of years. By the time some other thing will come, somebody will tell every time everything will come and go. I will have only 4 more years to serve in this career. Why I have to go for experiments? Somebody will keep on learning, keep on taking decision and get success in their life in terms of promotion, in terms of salary. That is the example in connection with academic. Let us have a common one. Assume that all the 100 plus participants are given a chance to go for one-day picnic with overnight stay by 2 coach buses by the coordinator of this FDP. 4 p.m. after the session of the particular day, participants divided into 2 groups and they boarded the bus and reached the hill station. During the dinner time, coordinator mentioned please board the bus shortly by 8 a.m. after your breakfast. This particular resort is famous for good number of dishes. Of course, few people chit chat somewhere, few people are walking here and there to the dinner, and few people gone to the bed for early sleep by assuming that tomorrow morning I have to get up without any delay. Surprisingly, morning 8 a.m., when the coordinator looks, both the buses got filled and the first bus started moving. The bus driver tried to ignite and the bus is not getting ignite. He collected the statement made by the coordinator that the bus is going to make the maiden trip after purchasing. Some people started murmuring that I know about the travel agency. They always tell like that, but their vehicles are like this. It won't go. Some people started denying, no, I used this travel, this good service. Some people will murmur by themselves and inform the nearby people, my luck is always like this, I won't get any good things in my life. Started discussing. Some people will call the nearby friends, please come down, we will push the bus. Maybe the fuel freezed due to the low temperature. Again, some people may say, call some other jeeps instead of this bus so that we cannot leave any space without seeing signs. But only the end, the group should visit all the places. That is the integration. That is the decision. Right? But people mindset will be in different situations like shock, denial, frustration, depression, right? And few people will do experiment very quickly, and very few people take decisions to change the bus or alternative vehicle or cut short 1 or 2 places. But we should have the intention level. That too, participants, if you are having such kind of shock, denial, anger in the integration of IoT in any of the sector, specifically in the healthcare sector, then you require more amount of information and communication. Which means I am not aware about many things in the Internet of Things in healthcare industry. If you are in complaining and depression stage, you require more amount of emotional support because you tried something and unfortunately failed due to expertise or guidance. Emotional support is needed. If you are okay with, then you require proper guidance and direction. This, if you are doing so, right, the creative alignment, maximize communication, the motivation, the capability, and the knowledge will be disseminated, will be received, will be modified, will be improved in each and every of our activity. So you have to think, not you, we have to think, what is my level in the Internet of Things sector? I am going to choose security area or adoption of blockchain or adoption of machine learning. Definitely, all the sectors are interrelated or blended to when it comes to the healthcare, when it comes to the transportation, when it comes to the education sector. It is very much amount of this is what I mentioned about redefining as how the people of health sector will get benefit. In this situation, I told about IoT ethics. Similarly, we are having the cyber ethics. This particular field is sometimes referred to by phrases such as internet ethics, computer ethics, or information ethics. The expression of internet ethics is somewhat narrow in scope and thus unable to capture the range of cyber-related ethical issues that arise independent internet and network computers. Because computer ethics connotes ethical issues affecting either computer professional or computer machines. It is also easily failed to include a cluster of relevant issues that fall under the heading cyber ethics. The expression information ethics, on the contrary, is too broad because it can refer to information related ethical issues that are beyond the scope of cyber technology. So, cyber ethics is the study of ethics pertaining to computers, covering user behavior and what computers are programmed to do and how this affects individuals and society. For years, various governments have enacted regulations while organizations have explained policies about cyber ethics. In our country also the similar way, right? With the increase of young children using the internet, it is now very essential that ever to children about how to properly operate the internet and its dangers. Are we doing so? Are we know ourselves first? That will be the question. It is especially hard to talk to teens because they do not want to be lectured about what is right and wrong. They seem to think they have it all sorts out. Important to instill appropriate cyber ethics at an early age. But if you have not, there is still time. It is not only child, it is for the adult also, because it is in that level we are having in our country. So we already the various issues of cyber security, right? So the cyber ethics is another challenge. Here, the copywriting or downloading, crime and punishment, internet hacking, cyber bullying. These are all few issues. When we think about these ethical challenges that too connected with Internet of Things. Because this copyright or downloading this major issue, right? People doesn't aware. Similarly, the crime and punishment, similarly, the internet hacking, similarly, the cyber bullying. Okay, since it is almost 45 minutes, I given a polling. It is already shared in your chat box. Just click the link and give the poll, or you please go to menti.com. Let me try this time the results on the screen, but it is difficult. It is not working out. Maybe I am not aware that much. I think so. Right. So I request the participants, according to you, just try to give the priority in connection with IoT. So far, the first participant made the rank as per the participant given like this. The top rank given to endpoint security, and the second given to content security, third given to data center security, fourth given to identity and access management, and fourth one given to cloud-based services, and the last given to mobile enterprise management. With this, still we are having several other things, but these are all my favorites, so that I thought of sharing with the participants. I can give another 10 to 20 seconds since the poll is little bit long. It will take few more seconds for each participant. Second reason, most of the participants are using mobile phone to attend this faculty development program. It is difficult for them to switch over from the PowerPoint presentation slide to polling page. Again, the ethical question is here, why we faculty are not using laptop or desktop for such kind of participations, right? I still remember this NITTR is organizing several FDPs, and they are very particular of the participation only through desktop or laptop, and they never allow people to utilize mobile phones for the participation of these kind of programs. I'm not saying it's supposed to, but it is their policy. And of implementing such and such things in the coming years, not in this particular year. So similar to the morning session, I can do one thing, I can keep open of this poll also till end of the day. You can poll after this session or according to your allowable time. Let us continue the remaining things. One, We are talking about IoT. When we talk about IoT, we cannot omit the energy. We cannot talk about artificial intelligence, right? But it is not directly so few things, but again, since it is related directly with IoT, we can think of this power grid, we can think of this power consumption, we can think of this trading and virtual power plant. So the first three topics may be to the participants, but the last topic, the virtual power plant, is directly connected with the of course, this power grid. Morning also I told the government of India and the states in the India are all come with permission to the society to generate or produce power from various locations. In terms of wind, in terms of solar, in terms of geothermal, right? In terms of biofuels, whatnot. Now it is open to the public to jump into the business. Later on, people will be given chances to choose the energy provider. People are not going to depend on a particular or a single energy supplier, where this IoT is having a major role. The grid management will be carried out, I can say 5 more years, within next 5 years, right? Without a huge loss, with less number of human resource, keeping safe of huge economy, this IoT no need of persons coming to the home to take reading how much consumed energy in each and every place. Right? It is not mandatory. When we go for deploying in such a way, it is easy for us to find how much the consumption is happening. When we allow many people to enter into the business, the trading accounts can be automated. Right? Of course, this virtual power plant, the smart can be act in a remote place, even without any human intervention. The produced energy will be supplied to the place in a required amount in a required time. So this is one of the upcoming things. But again, the data protection, security, power consumption, cyber attacks. Again and again, we are having lot of obstacles, right? When we say obstacles, we have to eliminate. How can we eliminate? There are several chances, several ways of coming out from such and such issues. When we say, I want to make change in my existing activity, this ADKAR change management model is appropriate. As I said earlier, we are having the various categories or cadre of people here, like professor, associate professor, and assistant professor. Right? When we want to change the model from the existing, we should have these parameters. We are supposed to overcome these parameters by acquiring. Whenever we want to make change, it should be disseminate among all the stakeholders. Example which I used to say, one fine morning, the college management will come and say that within next 6 months or 1 year, we should get NBA accreditation. Right? Is it the way? Some management, very few management will come and say that we have to change our activity from output model to outcome model. I don't know which category we belongs. We have to tell, we have to aware, we have to make aware of all the stakeholders. That is not sufficient. When we make awareness among the stakeholders, we should know whether the stakeholders are having the interest to do, interest to execute. I'm not going to say any contrary statements in case of NBA. Desire is not sufficient. After making awareness, after identifying the desire, or after evolving desire among the stakeholders' mindset and heart, we have to feed the knowledge by the way of giving training and coaching. Again, that is not sufficient. We are forcing some stakeholders to undergo training and coaching by believing that they are also having wish to change. Then we have to analyze them about their capability to execute what they learn. We have to find out their efficiency, effectiveness, right? They desired what they learned or what they trained. Once we do our checkup, we have to ensure we have to go further forward. We have to move further forward. There is no step. So this also made several decades back. The awareness, the desire, the knowledge, the reinforcement are all from people's side, individuals' side. But we are under a concern or a company or an institution. The institution should have their own characteristics. They should analyze the need of doing such and such things. They have to do conceptualize and they have to design what they are intended and what they are expected their stakeholders to do. When we go for implementing such and such things, by involving the stakeholders, there might be some unexpected results. There may be some unwanted activities or actions. And implementing such and such things, we have to review the post-implementation way. It is like a rail where both the wheels has to rotate together. By that way, the things will move forward. When we connect these things with Internet of Things, we faculty are having the desire to do research in this sector, which I briefed in the morning session, 50 plus subsets. All the 50 plus subsets cannot be executed or carried out by the faculty within this year. It is not recommendable, advisable to take all the topics together at a time. So the concern or the institution or the management has to decide based on the available major stakeholders' interest. We can go for choosing 2 or 3 streams to carry out. That's what I told. In the ADK, as per the ADKAR principle, we have to choose only very few areas for the research or project. Here I put the world-changing technology blockchain because we are always thinking about the security in the IoT. Computers, and if you are accessing multiple number of computers with huge time, it will emit CO2, so the environmental cost is great or higher. Of course, the regulations, rules, policies, laws in many countries are not similar and risky. Since we are connecting millions of computers and it is taking time, it is a complex one. Since it is having millions of computers, definitely it is taking long time in the case of public. There are public, private, and hybrid is there. In that sense, it is like that. For this reason, the Bitcoin transactions are all taking at least 4 hours plus to realize. And the infrastructure establishment is also good. So I am explaining this blockchain, which is having challenges. In that itself, this environmental as well as establishment cost is huge. So this is the we have to think of and we have to plan how to overcome these things in the coming days. Right. I got struck. Give me a moment. My screen is not moving. Right. I told about energy, artificial intelligence implementation in energy sector. And for the purpose of making the things in a safety manner, I added this blockchain. In that sense, we may think of doing projects, research in this grid management, energy trading, supply chain management, payment structure, policies. So when we say this artificial intelligence in the energy industry, that too in smart grid with the implementation of blockchain, right? Now I am adding multiple technologies one after another. This application is everywhere. It is not limited with one or multiple. My own interested area of healthcare and life sciences is a huge one. The remaining things also possible if you are going for blockchain. As I told morning, Government of India also coming up with a piloting plan in PFMS. You might hear. Of course, banking, financial, insurance is the huge sector already done. Then you might ask question, sir, I am a computer technologist, okay, I want to do IoT, AI, blockchain projects. As you mentioned in energy area, is that what is the scope? If you are right, again, you compare with the ruler cost principle, or your condition, or in frustration condition, or depression condition, or if you are looking at Microsoft, Accenture, SAP, IBM are all the top 4 players. Of course, there is an Indian player, Infosys, in the energy area of blockchain implementation, right? Maybe because of that, Infosys is hiring people irrespective of branch of engineering always, right? I want to make immediate money. Maybe some of the participants think in such a way. In that case, you can go for opting blockchain stocks, right? Yes, the Bitcoin is about 20 lakhs plus as on date. And it is predicted that it will reach a few crores within the few months of time. There are several blockchain stocks: Intercontinental Exchange, Square, Galaxy Digital, Silvergate. These are topmost blockchain stocks. Maybe may not be familiar with you, but this Intel Corporation and Canon is a popular blockchain stocks, right? Just for making money, if people we can do it. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. If you don't attack the risk will attack you. Nothing gets done till nothing gets done. My friends, I am failed to identify a product. I am saying a product, right, which is having higher quality, lower cost, very low cost, long-term life. I try to find such kind of a product in this universe, but miserably I am failing to find. Hopefully, I believe the product which is made in the technology of IoT, AI, and blockchain will be given higher quality, low cost, and long-term life for the society in the future. Right? If you are finding any other product in this universe, please share with me. And ethics. When we say ethics, right, most of us are having such a term in our mindset for longer period of time. But it is a moral, it is a philosophy. When we say ethics, it is related with laws, it is related with our religions. Of course, our data ethics, and it is having lot of values. When I say this much things, we people will come up with another question. Sir, in real life, how it will be, right? In real life, we are always interested to make plans for individual as well as organization. Assuming this ellipse is our plan of our organization. When we say organization, it is obviously includes all stakeholders, you and me. Whether our percent technically feasible, if you are checking like that, most of the cases, majority of the organization plans are not technically mapping 100% is the truth. At least legally, also no. Then where is the ethics? Ethics is in one corner with low percentage. This is the real. This is again a research paper from a blog I took for the session. So when we do something, when we plan something, that time itself we have to start whether our plan is technically 100% mapped, legally 100% mapped. When it goes MNC, different nations are having different laws, different rules. Whether it is mapped and ethically it is suitable. I urge all the participants, while you go for making such kind of algorithms, you please try to make in such a way. Because we are going to deal this IoT, AI, blockchain and other technologies. People doesn't know what is what, right? Because we are creating algorithm, people are getting some predictions or results. they may not know what is written inside for this particular result. So the humanities and social sciences are connected with computer science and ML, and the expectations, evaluations are in between. People should know how it is arrived, how the results arrived, how I got evaluated. Otherwise, the ethical questions will continue. Most of the occasions, we people are saying, "Sir, I am ready to do everything in a proper way, but what can I do? I am forced to do." Ethical dilemma. A situation in which a difficult choice has to be made between two courses of action, either of which details transgressing a moral principle. Later only it is developed as an ethical issue. Potential to help or harm others or ourselves also. Most of the things will start with ethical dilemma and become as a permanent issue. How it is related with IoT, machine learning? Yes, few ethical issues in machine learning. Ownership, anonymity, reputation, identity, fairness, privacy. Like that, I can list n number, right? When I list n number, we people are responsible for making to remove such kind of issues of coding, creating algorithms in a manner. There are several examples. As I told, these are all like black box. People doesn't know what is inside. They know only the result. The best example I can say PayPal. In the year 2010, it got cyber attack. Data. The Citigroup, one of the financial giant in the world, it lost more than 2 lakh data in the year of 2011. Resulted more than 2.7 million US dollar for the company. Most of us are fond of this guy, Kelsey, from West Island, Quebec, called Mafia Boy, because he used to hack the bigger people like Dell, Yahoo, CNN, right? And made loss more than 1.2 billion euros. He made such a damage. Of course, ethical hacking is appreciable, but not like this. Similarly, Sony, we Indians discussed this Cambridge Analytica Facebook scandal for the past 2+ years in a bigger way in our country. Why these much of things happen? These much of things are happen because of our, I can say, irresponsibility. When we code, when we make such kind of machine learning algorithms, right? Without bias, without possibility of we have to do. Of course, this bias in face recognition system, gender biased results and chatbot, NLP. When I say this gender biased results and chatbot issues, nowadays we are having the habit of calling the call center where the chatbots or the virtual robo will respond to us. These are all receiving data from us and comparing with the second or trained model and responding as a prediction. The best thing, we have to keep on updating the data. We have to keep on train the model so that the user will get best results. Here, the Apple iPhones version 10 and above Face ID is the triumph of machine learning technology. because the algorithm is written in such a manner, it will keep on updating the data whenever the user access the Face ID. So that even after 40 years age, the user's face identity will be made within microseconds. None of them are made so, right? In the future, again, the autonomous cars, autonomous weapons, personalized medicine, right? Someone asked the morning session, sir, whether it is a proper way. Of course, these top bots we are using in several places in the recent past. How can we solve? We can go for open sources. We can go for data bias. Again, we have to spend hours and hours to describe bias, biases in face recognition, issues in NLP, credit score computation, user profiling, and personalization are the few ways. I can say there is no free lunch. In machine learning, there is something called no free lunch theorem. In a nutshell, it states that no one algorithm works best for every problem. And it is especially relevant for supervised learning. Right? As a result, you should try different algorithms for your problem. While using a holdout test set of data to evaluate performance and select the winning algorithm or winner. Okay, end of the session, maybe some of the participants are interested to do research collaboratively. I can show the result part also if possible. Let me give me a moment. I can share. Link which I on your chat box. Time I can open my drive for the research. Have another 10 minutes. By the time we can make it, we can complete it. To make the collaborative research in the Internet of Things, maybe with the implementation of AI or data analytics or blockchain or machine learning or deep learning with me or my institute or the host institute among the participants institute, we may think of it. Right. So still it is waiting for responses. Maybe. Okay. As I told earlier, I can open up this poll also till end of the day. This is not poll. This is a survey or questionnaire. We can continue the remaining items so that we can go for winding up the today's session. Give me a moment. I can shift from here to the next slide. Give me a moment. Time. Yes. We are having connection with IoT, IT Act 2000, Cybercrime Prevention Act 2012. In the IT Act 2000, Section 43, as per Section 43 of the IT Act, provides penalty for damage to computer systems, etc., such as illegal access to computer systems, downloading or copying data, including virus attack on it, damaging the computer, its stored data or network, etc., shall be liable to pay by way of compensation up to rupees 1 crore. But most of the people doesn't aware about this kind of acts. In my knowledge, people are putting cases in such a way by mentioning this kind of act as well as laws. Since the time is very less, I am not showing this McKinsey 7S framework as well as Kurt Levin's principle. We will go to the last one. Give me a moment, I can move forward. Okay. So let us, okay. If you focus on results, you will never change. If you focus on change, you will get results, right? Always people will map. Again, the mapping is a common term for all the academicians. Total cost of ownership, global warming potential, secondary environmental impacts. The last two, global warming potential and secondary environmental impacts, we are not really concentrating in these days. Of course, we are always asking what is the total cost of ownership. I urge all the participants, all your activities, please look all these parameters. Then only people will think of us in the coming centuries. Often the common term Bloom's taxonomy, whatever our activity, please try to give multiple taste with the low cost, high quality, right, and long-term life. As Walt Disney mentioned, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Always we used to ask, sir, my question to the participants is like this. Any participant here is having a white paper of SWOT analysis towards IoT results. Little bit ago, I shared the IoT research interest Google form. Maybe a few people are entered in it already. In that sense, if you are really interested to do something in such and such platform, definitely of SWOT analysis. Before winding up, I can share my career philosophy, transforming student engineers into practicing engineers. Family first, student always. Ethics and environment is my family. Give equal importance to ethics and environment in your day-to-day activity. Then only we may able to walk with proven records, right? Again, people will always say, sir, I am doing everything. I am carrying out everything, but I am not happy. I am doing everything for my family, but family members are not feeling happiness or they are not expressing happiness as I expected. In that sense, if you want to check your happiness index by your own self introspection, then you can use this Johari window. This Johari window is having 4 boxes: open pan, blind pan, hidden pan, and unknown pan. On the left side of the screen and the right side of the screen, I am giving some sample words. When you say open pan, sir, I know myself. I know myself well. My friends also knows well, which comes into the open pan. Sir, I don't know myself, but my friends are saying that I am capable of doing such and such work. It comes to the blind pan. Sir, I am know myself well, but others are not at all understanding me. Others are all not knowing me. Comes into the hidden pan. I don't know, will I do that work? My friends also saying that the same way, which comes on the unknown pan. If you want to do nano level, you can put the 500,000 words. If you want to do macro level, you can go for 50,000 words. Sample words are mentioned here. After putting only one condition, you can put this word. You can choose one word, check with all the 4 boxes, and you put in any one of the box. Similarly, you put all the words, only condition, the word can be put in any one of the box. After putting that, you just go for counting that. Definitely we will do counting, right? When you count, at the end, if you get more number of words in open pan and very less number of words in unknown pan, and in between this blind pan and hidden pan, then you can claim that your happiness index is huge. If not, you have to change your activity in your daily way. For example, you can refer these 2 books. To improve your happiness index, you will get lot of tips from the power of your subconscious by Joseph Murphy, and Robin Sharma's Who Will Cry When You Die will give lot of tips. I believe that this IoT, this Internet of Things technology, which comprises of blockchain, artificial intelligence, of course, machine learning, deep learning, with the data analytics, will make our day-to-day life as a very simplified one. Of course, the data security is a concern. Over the period of time, over the period of years, we people will come over from these kind of issues. That's what I feel very strongly. Just imagine, just dream, if our house, if our own building is implemented in such and such manner, if our own family members are utilizing this IoT, back the presented video on your screen, then just think how our life will be, how much our life will be simplified. By considering the environmental, by considering ethics, or by considering the human values, so that the coming years in the world, humans will live the life in the happiest way, and the happiness index among the society, happiness index among our friends, relatives, people of our country will reach in a huge percentage. With that, I can wind up. For the second session, also I referred the references which I am showing on the screen, and the PPT will be shared to the coordinator, and the recorded video will be available on the ATAL website as well as through the coordinator. Thank you for your patient listening. Over to the coordinator. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute your mic and you can speak, or else you can text it in the chat box. We will discuss.
Thank you, Balaji Subramani. Thank you, Syed Ali Fatima, Sasia. Any questions? Thank you, coordinators, for giving me a chance for almost 8 sessions from your institute. And next time I will meet you from Indian Institute of Information Technology, Kalyani as a Deputy Registrar. I am signing off from Saintgits group of institutions from this particular moment. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. P. Muruganantham, sir, for spending a valuable time with us and informating us in the field of IoT and ethics and challenges in IoT. Thank you, sir.